In the early 1940s, Nazi-occupied Poland, a Jewish family faced annihilation. Living in Nowa Rudak, they endured the Nazi invasion and were confined to the ghetto. This family would not go quietly. They joined nearly 250 others in a daring escape, digging a tunnel beneath the camp's barbed wire. More than 200 would flee through that tunnel to the nearby forests, joining partisan resistance fighters. After the war, that same family were smuggled through Europe, crossing borders on foot and trains, often at night. They eventually reached displaced persons camps in Italy, specifically in Cremona and Ladispoli, where they stayed for around 3.5 years awaiting legal U.S. entry. And in 1948, the U.S. passed the Displaced Persons Act, allowing 200,000 European DPs permanent residency. The family's visa applications were sponsored by relatives. They departed aboard the SS Sobieski from Genoa on March 16, 1949, and arrived in the United States on March 29, 1949. Upon arrival, with only $2 to their name, they were placed in a HIAS shelter in Manhattan's Upper West Side. Settling in Brooklyn and later in New Jersey, the family tried to start anew. The father, a carpenter by trade, began working construction jobs. Eventually, he started his own business, helped by the GI Bill and federal housing incentives. A caseworker at the time described the family as complicated, noting they seemed to believe they had to get everything at once, as if the system wouldn't give them a second chance. But Joseph also showed what she called a tremendous drive to establish themselves. And establish themselves they did. By the time of Joseph's death in 1985, the family had acquired more than 4,000 apartments. That same year, his son Charles officially founded a new real estate firm in the New York metropolitan area. Over the next few decades, their holdings expanded into the billions. The family made powerful connections. Their name began to appear at political fundraisers and on the walls of Ivy League institutions. That family is the Kushner family, and their empire, Kushner Companies. Charles Kushner, son of Holocaust survivors, raised 4 children. The best known is Jared Kushner. Jared Corey Kushner was born on January 10, 1981 in Livingston, New Jersey. Son of the wealthy real estate magnate Charles Kushner, Jared grew up in a prominent and influential Orthodox Jewish family. Living in proximity to the economic and political centers of New York and New Jersey, he was exposed from a young age to elite social networks and powerful political figures, people like Hillary Clinton, Al Gore, and Benjamin Netanyahu, largely through his father's business and philanthropic ventures. As a child, Jared attended the Hebrew Youth Academy, a private Orthodox day school in Livingston, New Jersey. Charles Kushner launched and funded the academy and gave it his father's name, the Joseph Kushner Hebrew Academy, in honor of Jared's grandfather. For high school, Jared enrolled at the Frisch School, a modern Orthodox yeshiva in northern New Jersey. Yeshivat Frisch, as described in their official website, is a modern Orthodox, religious Zionist high school, serving the needs of the Jewish community of Bergen County, New Jersey, and surrounding areas. We aim to foster the development of every aspect of our students' personalities and identities, intellectual, emotional, creative, communal, and religious, as they mature into young men and women whose commitment to Torah and mitzvot permeates every aspect of their lives. At the Frisch School, Jared received an education rooted in modern Orthodox Jewish values, where students engaged in both rigorous secular studies and intensive Jewish learning. The curriculum balanced courses in mathematics, science, literature, and social studies with daily Talmud study, Hebrew language, and prayer services. Jared participated in these religious practices daily. After graduating high school in the late 1990s, Jared Kushner was accepted into Harvard University, where he began his undergraduate studies in 1999. His admission has long been the subject of scrutiny following reports that a $2.5 million donation to the university had been made by his father Charles around that time. While representatives have denied any causal link, staff from Jared's high school reportedly expressed surprise, noting that his academic record was not considered exceptional. The case of Jared's acceptance has generated considerable discussion and speculation. While Harvard maintains high academic standards, it is widely acknowledged that the university has, in various instances, admitted students whose family influence or financial contributions played a role. At Harvard, Jared majored in government, focusing on political science and public policy. He graduated in 2003 with a Bachelor of Arts degree, earning the distinction of cum laude. During his time at Harvard, he remained active in Jewish campus life, often participating in events at the university's Chabad House. After graduating from Harvard at the age of 22, Jared enrolled at New York University. There, he entered a dual degree program, simultaneously studying law and business, and by 2007, he had earned both a Juris Doctor from NYU School of Law and a Master of Business Administration from NYU's Stern School of Business. Jared's trajectory was shaped not only by education, but by the significant influence of his family. The Kushners were known for their real estate wealth, political donations, and philanthropic presence, especially in the New York, New Jersey region. According to a 2006 New York Magazine profile, the family maintained a tight-knit structure, and Jared was groomed from an early age to one day take the lead. Their affluence provided him with an exceptional platform, but also expectations. But there was something he didn't anticipate, something that would soon disrupt everything in his life. At the age of 23, in the midst of his graduate studies, Jared's father, Charles, was arrested and imprisoned for tax evasion and witness tampering, along with other charges. Up until the age of 23, Jared had largely stayed out of the public spotlight. He was known within New York's Orthodox Jewish community and real estate circles, but not widely beyond them. That changed in July 2004, when federal prosecutors charged Charles Kushner with 18 felony counts, including tax evasion, illegal campaign donations, and witness tampering. One of the most shocking allegations involved hiring a prostitute to entrap his brother-in-law, a tactic intended to intimidate a cooperating witness in a family legal dispute. The case was prosecuted by then U.S. Attorney Christie and garnered national media coverage.
If my father was guilty, I would. Yeah. I mean, listen, if I thought that my father had not done something and that he had been wrongly accused and wrongly convicted, that would be one thing. In this instance, Mr. Kushner pled guilty
to illegal campaign contributions,
tax evasion, and witness tampering. Significant crimes. I just think that it was so obvious he had to be prosecuted that, I mean, if a guy hires a prostitute to seduce his brother-in-law and videotapes it and then sends the videotape to his sister to attempt to intimidate her from testifying before a grand jury, do I really need any more justification than that?
For Jared, the experience was deeply personal. At 24, he found himself in the center of a family crisis with implications far beyond private pain. He visited his father regularly in prison, and according to reporting from The New Yorker and New York Magazine, remained quietly loyal, refusing to publicly denounce or distance himself. This period marked a turning point. As the eldest son, Jared assumed increasing responsibility for the family business while simultaneously finishing his degrees at New York University. The scandal reshaped public perceptions of the family and forced Jared to navigate high-stakes decisions earlier than expected. He officially stepped into the leadership role at Kushner Companies, inheriting a real estate portfolio and having the pressure of restoring a family name freshly tarnished by scandal. His early years as a real estate executive were marked by a need to prove himself, not only to the industry, but to his own family. His strategy was ambitious. He began by stabilizing the company's assets and expanding its reach beyond New Jersey. Under his direction, Kushner Companies ventured deeper into Manhattan's high-value commercial market. He also diversified the business by purchasing properties in multiple states. But Jared's ambitions weren't confined to real estate. In July 2006, he purchased the New York Observer, a weekly newspaper known for its influence among the city's elite. The reported $10 million acquisition, according to the New York Times, reflected both the family's wealth and Jared's determination to gain a foothold in the media industry. He became the paper's publisher and sought to modernize it, transitioning it from print to digital while maintaining its reputation for political and cultural commentary. Jared actively sought relationships with older media and publishing figures. One of the most consequential was Rupert Murdoch. According to reporting from New York Magazine and Vanity Fair, Kushner pursued Murdoch through social and professional circles. Their families interacted at events and within Manhattan's elite donor circuits. Murdoch reportedly encouraged Jared's intellectual development, passing him books by controversial authors such as Charles Murray, writers known for their conservative and economically libertarian leanings. According to the Times of Israel and New York Magazine, this phase of mentorship and ideological exposure is seen by some observers as a key factor in Kushner's gradual shift from a traditionally Democratic background to a more right-leaning political posture. Jared met Ivanka Trump in 2005, the daughter of Donald Trump, through mutual friends in the New York business circuit. Their relationship developed gradually, and by 2009, after Ivanka completed her conversion to Judaism, a process that sparked debate and controversy among different Jewish sects. While she studied under Rabbi Haskell Lookstein of Congregation Kehelath Jeshurun in New York, a respected modern Orthodox leader, some in the Haredi and ultra-Orthodox communities questioned the legitimacy of her conversion. In Israel, for example, the chief rabbinate has previously declined to recognize similar conversions. The couple married in a ceremony held at the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster in New Jersey, which drew a roster of prominent figures from both business and politics. Two influential real estate dynasties, both based in New York and tightly knit in their respective communities, were now linked by marriage. The Kushners brought deep-rooted ties in Orthodox Jewish philanthropy and political fundraising, while the Trumps had long occupied the spotlight of New York media and high society. Jared kept a low national profile, even as he expanded his business presence in New York. His marriage to Ivanka brought him closer to Donald Trump, who had not yet entered politics or declared any political ambitions at this time. For decades, the Kushners supported and donated to the Democratic Party, yet this new connection opened the door to different political alliances. Before we dive into Jared's transition into politics, we must understand the scope and trajectory of his business life during the critical years following his father's conviction. Jared made what would become one of the most scrutinized real estate deals in modern New York history: the acquisition of 666 Fifth Avenue for $1.8 billion. It was the highest price ever paid for a single building in Manhattan at the time. According to reporting by Bloomberg, the deal was heavily leveraged, relying on short-term loans with aggressive repayment structures. It was emblematic of pre-crisis optimism, ambitious, high-risk, and timed at the peak of the market. Jared believed the building could generate enough revenue through rentals and future development to sustain its enormous financial weight, but the timing would prove catastrophic. Within a year, the 2008 financial crisis struck, sending commercial rents downward and eroding the property's income. By 2010, the building was underperforming dramatically. Reports from The Real Deal and Reuters documented how Kushner companies scrambled to find refinancing options and restructure its mounting debt, quietly exploring partnerships and selling partial stakes to offset losses. Despite the financial strain of the building, Kushner companies kept expanding, buying thousands of apartment units in the Sun Belt and Mid-Atlantic regions and redeveloping office towers in Manhattan. Multiple lawsuits alleged aggressive rent collection practices and harassment of tenants in rent-regulated buildings.
Tanae Smith is a tenant at the Dutch Village Apartments in Northeast Baltimore. She's lived there since 2009. She's now a plaintiff in a lawsuit filed against the landlord, a company owned by Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump's son-in-law. The complaint alleges the company charges illegal and excessive fees when a tenant is late with the rent. Full payments are required, Tanae says, to get her accounts squared.
Let's say the court case is a couple of weeks later. If I went to at least pay my rent on the 7th, they're rejecting it. They're saying, no, pay everything.
Kushner's companies own 17 properties in the Baltimore area. The lawsuit seeks refunds for thousands of tenants.
We're talking about people who are wealthy individuals who are just making a profit off of people who can barely afford to pay their rent or to make, their ends meet.
The company denied wrongdoing, but the allegations added to the cloud of controversy surrounding the Kushner name. Jared went on to help found Cadre, a technology-driven real estate investment platform, alongside his brother Josh and Ryan Williams. Williams met Josh while they were at Harvard and later brought Jared into the project. The company drew attention from high-profile investors, including Thrive Capital, Goldman Sachs, and the investment fund of George Soros. Cadre reportedly held preliminary discussions with international backers, including entities linked to Chinese capital and Japan's SoftBank. By late 2015, Jared was beginning to step away from day-to-day business operations. And the reason was politics. He was preparing to join what would become one of the most controversial and consequential presidential campaigns in recent American history.